Hi there, my name is Emma-Jayne and welcome to this little beginner's flow. This will be about 30 minutes of just moving through some yoga foundations, some yoga basics of breathing and movement, an opportunity to care for yourself in whatever circumstance you have found yourself in. The world seems a little upside down at the minute, whether you are able to go out for a walk, whether you are stuck in your home with tons of people around you. I'm unsure how it looks, but I am hopeful that this will give you exactly what you need to decompress, to unwind. We're going to spend a few moments in poses that encourage opening of our hips, encourage a little twisting, which will care for our spine, work on our digestion, and overall, I'm hoping you'll feel great after. So folks, let's start in a seat. If you are uncomfortable with your legs crossed, you can bring them out long. I don't mind. You can pop a little pillow underneath you if you want. I think I'm going to do that. And just set yourselves down. If you want a little more openness in those hips, try and line up your ankles while your legs are crossed instead of stacking them, but it's just a preference as opposed to what you most certainly need to do. It's up to you. So bring your hands to where it feels comfortable. Bring yourself into a place where you have a little bit of space physically and mentally. So bring your head over your heart, your shoulders over top of those hips. I find that I have to rock my torso back a little bit to do this. Feel those sitting bones pushing down into your pillow, into the mat, into the block wherever you are sitting. And just begin to breathe. Lengthening the inhales, lengthening the exhales. If your mind is being pulled in a million directions, perhaps with concern, perhaps with anxiety, perhaps with a little bit of anger at plans that are missed, that are changed, I just want you to bring it to the inhale, and as you exhale, just let it go. We know deep down those things don't really serve us, but we love to hold on for a little bit longer, don't we? So just begin to let it go. Inhaling deeply through the nose. When you've got to that peak of the inhale, see if you can breathe in just a little bit more. Holding it there and sigh it away. We're going to do that again, folks. Inhaling. Once you get to the peak of that breath, take another little gasp in and exhale. And one more time in your own time. Let those eyes flicker open and let's begin to move. Remove that little block or cushion from underneath you. I want you to bring your right hand onto your right knee, that left hand down behind you. Inhale to pull your heart, your gaze towards me, and as you exhale, use that hand as a lever and just gently encourage yourself around. You should feel as if that left shoulder is trying to line up with the right. Your heart's pulling forward. And if it's good for your neck, and only if it's good, turn your gaze to the back of the room. Everything is being asked to open up a little bit. Twisting is such a wonderful practice to get into. It wakens your body up and gives your organs a little bit of extra care. I'll post a little underneath about why twists are good for you, and just slowly release. Everything is a slow transition. I want you to bring that left hand to the right knee, that right hand down beside you. Inhale your heart, your gaze towards me, and then as you exhale, slowly twist. And again, bring your gaze to where it is good for you. Feel the shoulders trying to line up. Your heart is still pulling forward, so you're not collapsing in on yourself here. Everything is nice and strong and tall. And slowly bring it back. Beautiful. I want you to bring yourself into a tabletop position. Bring those knees in underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders. Just to give our wrists a little bit of care, I want you to begin to make circles over top of the wrists. Just a few times. Spread the fingers wide. Really feel yourself connecting down with the mat. And then just switch directions. Now this might be enough for you. Maybe you need to do this a few times through. Or you can turn those fingertips out to the side of your mat. So you were here, you're going to go here. Just continue to make those little circles. Bend your elbows if you need to, so not to put a little too much pressure on that elbow joint. And switch directions with the circles. And bring it back. Folks, turn those fingertips towards you. So you were here, now you're going to be here. Bend the elbows again if you need to, but begin to make circles. If you can peel those palms up off the floor, go ahead, making sure your knuckles remain connected to the mat. For any of those gaming children of yours or gaming adults, I don't know, this is a great little exercise. Stretching out all those little muscles in and around your hands, switch directions. And beautiful. Peel those hands up. Now bring the backs of the hands onto the mat, your palm or your fingers towards your knees. Whew, you'll feel that. Rock yourself left to right, bend the elbows as much as you need. Only do what feels comfortable, and just be aware that if you have not done this ever, it's going to feel slightly uncomfortable, so don't worry. Bring your hands up, interlace those fingers, begin to rotate the wrists around. This is a great little practice. I usually say if something feels as if it gives you a little bit of comfort release, try and incorporate it into everyday life. Beautiful. Now bring those hands down onto the ground, inhaling to drop your stomach, lift your gaze. And exhale, bring your chin to your chest. Oh, I was very close to the mic there, sorry. Inhale, drop your chin, or drop your stomach, bring your chin up. Exhale, chin to chest, arch that back. Tent your fingers here, folks. Be dramatic. Feel the weight of your head pulling you down. And just continue to do this, inhaling and exhaling. And one more. Beautiful. Bring it back to that exhale, arching the back. And then bring yourself into a neutral position. Now, if you're familiar with down dog, make your way there, get yourself comfortable. If you're not, take a little look up at the screen. I want you to spread your fingers wide. I want you to tuck your toes. And you're just going to slowly pick your knees up off of the ground. And notice how my bottom is going skyward. My head is hanging heavy, and my back is flat as I'm here. My knees can be as bent as they need to be so that my back is flat. Once you're in this position, you can begin to straighten one leg, straighten the other. Your heels won't necessarily touch the mat or touch the back of the mat, but that's okay. This is about what works for you. So bend the knees as much as you need and pedal those feet out. Now, for those that feel comfortable, that feel as if they can add a little twist to this downward facing dog, go ahead. So I want you to slowly bring your weight over onto the right hand, not all of it, not too much of it. And picking up the left hand, bring it over to the right leg. See if you can bring it down towards that right ankle. Bring your gaze underneath that right shoulder. And then just switch. It's a little bit of a balancing game. Don't worry if you're not feeling it. It's all good. Bring that right hand to the left side and gaze underneath. Beautiful. I want you to bend the knees and begin to walk up towards the top of your mat. Take as many little steps as you need. And as you arrive at the top of your mat, bend the knees, let your chest drape over your thighs, head to hang heavy. Your hands draped onto the floor. And just begin to rock yourself left and right. Maybe you want to be a little more dramatic as you bend one knee, straighten the other. And if your hands aren't touching the ground, it's no big deal, folks. Your hands can rest on your thighs, they can rest on your knees, but I'd encourage you to bend your knees, rest on your shins. I'd encourage you to bend your knees as much as you need to feel the support for your back. Beautiful. Now, if you have a block, if you have something to lean on, I want you to bring it to the right side, just in front of that right foot. Let the right hand rest on. I want you to bend that right knee, straighten the left leg. That might already feel like enough for you. If you want to add that twist, bring the left hand to your left hip crease and begin to slowly bring that left shoulder to the ceiling. If you can go deeper, bring that left hand up towards the ceiling, your gaze to follow if it's good for your neck. Remember, right leg bent, left leg straight, and then slowly return to the ground. Maybe you want to switch sides here, so bring that block in front of the left foot, bend the left knee, straighten that right leg. Maybe that's enough for you, maybe you're already feeling it. You can stay there if you are. If not, I want you to bring that right hand to your right hip crease, begin to rotate, stacking your shoulders, and then reaching that right hand high if it's good for you. As you're in this position, you want to feel as if you're creating some space in that spine of yours. So the crown of the head is reaching forward, tailbone back. Shoulders are stacked, heart is pushing to the side. And then return your hand to the ground. Beautiful, releasing that block. Inhaling to halfway lift, hands on your shins. Exhale, fold forward, head to hang heavy. Inhale to rise up, reaching your hands up high, and exhale, hands to heart. Bring your chin to your chest, taking 1 or 2 deep breaths here before we flow through this little salutation, this little sequence. Inhale to reach up high. Exhale to fold yourself forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flatten that back, and as you exhale, glide that right foot to the back of the mat. Now you can drop the knee down or you can keep it lifted for a little moment. I want you to anchor that right hand down. Inhale the left hand high, turning towards that knee. If you can go a little further, why not extend those left fingertips towards the back of the room? Let your gaze follow if you want. You can always drop the knee down here if it's a little too much. And bring it back. Inhale, left hand high, framing that left foot. You're going to slowly step into your plank. If you're new to planking, just drop the knees down. Let the hips rest here. I don't mind. But as you exhale, lower yourself down to the ground. Inhale, peeling your heart up to the ceiling or to the wall. And exhale, send it to your tabletop. Bring the hips high, downward facing dog. Beautiful work. Inhale, reaching your right leg to the ceiling. And exhale, stepping it through in between your hands. Don't worry if you need to shimmy that foot up. You can drop the left knee down if you want. Anchor the left hand to the ground. Inhale, draw the right hand to the ceiling. Gaze to follow if it's good to you, or you can look to the side of the room. And if you can, bring the right fingertips towards the back of the room, gaze to follow. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale, framing that right foot. Wonderful, folks. Stepping up to meet that right foot. Inhaling halfway. Exhale, folding forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, rising up slow and steady. Reach the hands up high. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Drop your chin to your chest. Now let's flow through that left side. Inhale. And exhale. Inhaling, halfway lift, flatten that back, maybe hands on your shins or fingertips on the floor. As you exhale, glide that left foot back. Keep the knee lifted if you want. Anchor the left hand, inhale the right hand high. And again, if you can go a little further, why not bring it around, fingertips pointing to the back of the room. Or maybe you want to drop your hand low and find that left hip crease. You can drop the knee down if you want. And then slowly release from where you are. Step back into your plank. And flow through that vinyasa, either knees down or full chaturanga. Exhaling to lower. Inhale, peeling up. Exhale, make your way to downward facing dog. Picking those hips up high. Inhaling that left leg to the ceiling. Exhale, stepping it through. You can drop the right knee down here, keep it lifted. Whatever you've been doing, try to be consistent with it. It's your call though. Inhale, left hand high. Exhaling, fingertips to the back of the room. Maybe bring your hand down to that right hip crease if you want to go a little, I want to say deeper, but just a little different posture. It's really what works for you, what feels good for you, your body. And then release that hand, bring it back around, framing that foot, and try and step up to the top of your mat. Inhaling to halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Just let everything hang heavy here. Maybe grab opposite elbow. Feel the weight of that upper body inviting you a little closer to the mat. Sway yourself to the left and to the right. And your gaze should be between those legs, towards your legs, not to the end of your mat. Release the hands down, folks. I want you to step both feet back into a downward facing dog. You have an option. You can take a few breaths right here, 3 or 4 breaths. But if not, bring the knees wide onto the mat. Bring the toes together and let your hips sink back slowly and steadily. Now, if your forehead doesn't comfortably touch the ground here, grab hold of a block or a pillow, whatever brings you comfort to lower yourself down. If those hands need a little break, you can swing them around down beside your feet. Let the palms rest up toward the ceiling. Let everything melt down into the mat. Maybe even just let one cheek rest down as you're here. And then folks, slowly reaching those fingertips forward if they're not already. And just to continue with that little kind of side body, that twisting action, I want you to walk both hands over to the left side of the mat as far as you can go. Your head will follow. You can place that right hand on top of the left hand. And as you're here, see if you can almost feel as if you're pulling that right hip back as those hands reach to the left. And then just walking over to the right side. Don't worry if you did the other side. Just go to the other side, I don't mind. Bring that right hand as far right as you can. Left hand will follow. Let your forehead rest down and try and encourage that hip back, that left hip pulling back. And slowly bring it back to center. Pull yourself back up, folks. Beautiful. Now sink back, either sitting down onto your heels or onto your bottom. I'm going to walk us through this next last little part of our practice. Give you a couple of options of how to move into it safely. So grab hold of those blocks, make sure they're nearby. Maybe pop one on either side of your mat in the middle. And when I kind of suggest using blocks, even if you just have a book that's something you can kind of feel a little more sturdy on, that's all you really need. So You're going to make your way into a downward facing dog. Pulling the hips up high, taking a few breaths, whatever feels good, whatever feels comfortable. Inhale, reach that right leg to the ceiling. Remember, I'm just showing you, so you don't have to do this, you just have to watch. And step it through in between the hands. Now you're going to take a little moment here, give yourself an opportunity to adjust, spread those right toes wide, dropping the left heel. Now some people like to do heel to heel. I like to do your front heel in line with the arch of that back foot. Cartwheel your hands up and sink into your warrior two. Spending just a little moment here, you'll feel as if your hips are opening up. You want to try and encourage that back leg to straighten up comfortably. You're going to inhale, reach your hands up high, straighten that front leg, turn your toes to the side. So both feet are pointing the same direction. Bring your heels in slightly, turn the toes out. You'll inhale, reach both hands up high, and as you exhale, fold yourself forward. You'll hinge from the hips, so if you need a block to give you a bit of height here so that your back isn't rounding to go forward, that's all good. Or if your hands can rest on the floor, that is equally as good. And you might get here and feel you can bring your feet a little wider. Just go as far as is comfortable. Try not to buckle your knees, going as low as you can. It's not a competition. It's just whatever feels best for you. You're going to drop one hand down. You'll reach up and twist. We'll spend a lot longer, or a little longer in each side. So find a comfortable spot for yourself. Maybe you can even bring one hand down. And then we'll do that. We'll walk the feet in slightly. Bring our hands to our hips, rise with a flat back, turn the toes, sink into your warrior once again. Flow through your vinyasa, or go straight to a downward facing dog. It's your call. It's your practice. So, if you need a block, if you need something to support yourself, grab hold of it. If you don't, let's flow and make our way into that downward facing dog. If you need to give yourself a little pep talk about doing this, I believe in you. You're good. You got it. But pick your hips up high. Let your head hang heavy. Take 2 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And again. Inhale that right leg to the ceiling. And as you exhale, bring the knee towards your nose. Feel that upper back getting a little wider, and then step the foot through in between your hands. Give yourself a moment, spread those right toes, grounding the left heel, and cartwheel your hands up, sinking into Virabhadrasana 2 or Warrior 2. Gazing over those right fingertips. You want to feel as if you're hugging that left hip in. It's almost as if you're trying to pull that left foot towards you without moving it. That'll really engage all those little muscles. Inhale, reach your hands high, straighten that leg, turn your toes to the side of the room. Bring your hands to your hips. Give yourself a little moment. Inhale to lift the heart. Exhale to fold. Beautiful. Once you feel comfortable bringing your hands to the floor or onto that block, go ahead. I don't mind. You can toe heel your feet a little wider. Just bring yourself into a place of comfort. I'll not bring my head any lower, or else I'll be very loud in that little microphone. And folks, bring that right hand to the center of the mat and inhale the left hand up high. Now you can feel as if you're stacking those shoulders, or you can bring that hand and find the right hip crease. And then just slowly release it down. Let's switch sides. Inhale the right hand high, stack the shoulders. Maybe bring that hand down behind you for a little partial bind. And release. Beautiful. Toe heel the feet in just a little more. Walk the hands forward if you need to flatten that back a little more. And just until you feel comfortable, bring your hands to your hips, rising with a flat back. Turn those right toes to the side of the room, sink into your warrior, nice and strong. And with an exhale, cartwheel your hands, framing your foot. Step back to your plank to flow through a vinyasa or go straight to your down dog. It doesn't matter if you skip vinyasa, we're all going to meet in down dog anyway. I say this anyway in class. No judgment if you skip it. It's about what works for you. Inhale that left leg high. Exhale, step it through in between your hands. Spread the left toes, connecting with the mat, grounding that right heel. Cartwheel your hands up, gazing over the left fingertip. Feel as if you're inviting that left foot towards you without moving it, of course, but it's engaging that leg, feeling a little stronger. Inhale, straighten that leg, reach your hands up high, turn your toes, and you should be the other side of the mat. I'll turn around so I'm not talking to a wall, but you'll be at the other side of your mat. And then exhale, fold yourself forward. Wonderful. Bring the feet as wide as you need. And then bring that right hand down. Inhale the left. Enjoy that twist. Enjoy caring for that upper back. Maybe bring your hand around. And remember, bring those feet into a position that feel good for you. So if it's not comfortable to do this, you can just bring your knees down onto the ground. And you can do it like this, just as we were doing at the start. So bring that left hand down, inhale the right. And then slowly release. Beautiful. Folks, let's give ourselves a little minute here in this wide leg forward fold. And then walk the feet in just a little. Bring your hands to your hips. Inhale to rise with a flat back. Turn those toes towards the side of the room. Sink into your warrior once again. Cartwheel your hands, framing your foot. Beautiful. Step back into your plank. Flow through your vinyasa or go straight to your downward facing dog. Linger in any little pose that feels good for you. And then slowly drop your knees to the ground. Swing those feet to the left or to the right. Sit down onto your bottom. Bring those legs out long in front of you. Now, that was a slightly more difficult beginner's practice. A little bit more movement, a little more twisting can just be a little difficult, especially if you have kind of rounded shoulders. So congratulations on just giving yourself the opportunity to see areas of where you can care for yourself a little more. So bring those legs out long in front of you. And I want you to bring that right foot in towards your inner thigh. If that right knee is kind of up by your ear, you can pop a little block underneath it so that there's support there. You're going to bring that left hand down beside you. Inhale, reach the right hand high, and as you exhale, bring the right hand to the outside of that left foot or the left shin or the left leg, and slowly use it as a lever to turn yourself over or turn yourself around. Not over, no roly-polies. And then folks, if you want to slowly bring yourself back around, maybe you want to bring that left hand to the other side so your arms are crossed over. You're gazing towards that foot. And then just release the hands. Bring yourself back up. Beautiful. And just switch sides. Bring that right hand down beside you. Inhale the left hand up high. Exhale, hinging forward and grabbing hold of the outside of that foot, the leg, wherever you may be. And then maybe bring your gaze back towards that foot. Bring your hand, the right hand to the inside of that right foot. And then slowly release. Beautiful. Cross those legs for a little moment. Inhale, reach both hands up high as you exhale, turning to your left. Inhale, bring it back to center. And exhale to the right. Let's do this another 2 times, one on each side. Inhale back. Exhale to the left. Inhale back. Exhale to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, bring those hands down beside you. Clear space onto your mat and lie yourself down. And we'll have a little supine twist before we go into that short little Shavasana. So lay yourselves down onto the mat. Hug the knees in for a little moment. Bring your arms into a T shape. Let the knees fall over to the right side. It might feel comfortable even to just bring a pillow underneath that right side if you need a bit of extra support. As you inhale and as you exhale, acknowledge just the care that you've given yourself by moving, by twisting. And bring your gaze back to center, bring those knees back to center, and just let them fall over to the other side. Knees to the left, maybe your gaze to the right. And so by giving yourself this opportunity, you'll know exactly what I mean by this, but you'll just feel better prepared to go back into whatever you're in, whether it's your work situation, whether it's homeschooling, whether it is your home, your pets, the prospect of the next few weeks or months, whatever it is. You'll have given yourself the physical and mental space to go back into it, to love others a little better, to show a little more grace and patience. And let's be honest, we all need that, right? So bring those knees to center, bring that gaze back to center, hug your knees into your chest. And if you want, bring your chin up toward the knees into a little ball for a moment. Take a few deep breaths as you're here. And on that next exhale, extend the legs out long and bring the arms down beside you. Turn your palms to the ceiling, rotate those shoulders back, let your heart lift up as you do so, and bring your chin down toward your chest. Feel yourself sinking down a little more into that mat of yours. And just acknowledge the fact that you feel a little more open, a little more relaxed than perhaps you did at the start of our time together. Soften that skin in and around your face, your jaw, your brow. And if the silence is the hardest part, if being quiet is the most difficult thing for you, that's probably what you need the most, I'm sorry to say. So just be okay with it. Find that spot, find that place. Bring it back to the inhale, bring it back to the exhale. Slowly bring your attention back to that breath. Begin to move those fingers, move those toes. And as you inhale, reach your hands towards the back of the room. Point your toes towards the front. Hug your knees into your chest. And allow yourself to roll onto the right side just for a little moment. Make your way up into that comfortable seat. See if you can keep your eyes closed as you get there. Let your hands rest down. And let's finish our time with those 3 deep breaths. Before you go into those breath, folks, get a bit of comfort as you sit here. Acknowledge the good things that you've done for yourself. Inhaling through the nose. Exhale, let it go. Inhaling. And exhaling. And one more, breathing in. And sigh it away. Let those eyes flicker open. And lift your gaze. Thank you for the practice. Thank you for the opportunity to be with you, even virtually. And sorry if this has went over the 30 minutes, but I just go with the flow sometimes. It was wonderful to be with you. Have a great day, and I'll see you very soon. Thanks.